Cocooned in Wales. Those who knew me first for my hair. They then knew me for my smile. They then knew me for my voice and lack thereof. I am none of these anymore. I had to let my old self die. Transformation, you see, requires space, so death becomes necessary. Letting go becomes a prerequisite. We experience minor transformations every day. The culmination of these transformations sometimes leads to an extraordinary change. Last year was this sort of a transformative year for me. While researching for my son's potential diagnosis, I learned about ADHD, Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, and I realized I was reading about myself. But how? How is that possible for someone who rarely speaks, always smiles, and is probably the calmest person you'll ever meet? Well, visit my head someday. There are that many stories alive and potent that just the sheer volume and speed could overwhelm you. ADHD impacts executive functioning. There is people-pleasing, hyper-focused time blindness. Time, my enemy. Let's see if I finish the speech in time. Daydreaming again, my mom would often say this to me as a child, sometimes poking fun at me and sometimes in sheer annoyance. And I still kept dreaming. Cocooned in Wales, my life was a stage and I had incredible stage fright, and quite literally too. But you wouldn't know that. You'd see a smile, my mask, to keep me safe. I carried this shining internal trophy for a life lived for others. I gave until there was nothing left of me. That trophy broke last year. I had spoken up for the first time in my life for myself and for people I loved. But what would you know? I was met with manipulation, lies. A whole facade broke. Not theirs, mine. I had given up my power to everyone all my life. I lay in bed for 2 days, questioning my existence. At the end of the second day, I drove to the cemetery, sat there, stared at graves, felt the breeze. I buried myself, old self that day, just didn't know it. My entire life was coming into perspective. My entire life was coming into perspective. You see, I had been managing okay until I had children. But my coping mechanism started giving way as I became a mom responsible for other lives. I would wonder, how do I save them? 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 I couldn't even save me. Breath, less breath escapes, nerve endings, feeling endless, nervous, energy endless, smile, stop, go, pacing, step, touch, breath, pacing endlessly. During one of my routine pregnancy appointments with my doctor, I told the doctor, I think I have depression. He looked at me and without a blink said, oh, don't worry, it's probably just baby blues. So my depression, linked directly to my ADHD, was never even assessed until I tried to end my life and ended up in the hospital. The question is, how was I masking so well? People pleasing, lying, essentially to the whole world, but also myself. Well, this is how it works out. I was trying to fit into a world made for neurotypical people, and I wasn't one. But I didn't know that. I was a butterfly trying to be a fish in the ocean, and I couldn't, so I thought I was a failure. But I wasn't. I was made to fly. Now I don't try to fit in. I am neurodivergent, but that's not all I am. My superpowers, like that of Einstein, Da Vinci, Jim Carrey, are so partially because of this brain wiring. They call it the hunter gene. Today, I stand here in my power, knowing my value and my weaknesses without reservations. I am whole. I am whole. Last year was a climax, if you will, of my entire life coming to this extraordinary transformation. So let me ask you, what do you need to let go of to be as big as you are? Cocooned in Wales. Leave. Leave those cocoons that hold hostage your wings. Transform, butterflies. Unravel. Fly.